Welcome back everyone to Redstone with Ripper, and it has been quite a while and I apologize for that. I will explain myself in a second, but for this episode we are going over elevators and conveyors. Let's get straight into it. So just quickly guys, I've been fairly busy over the last 2 weeks, and that's exactly how long since the last episode. I actually missed a week there, and it was kind of one of those things where I put it off a day and then put it off another day, and then it ended up being me doing it this week. So I apologize for that. I'll try not to let it happen, but I kind of want to say that we're almost getting to the end of Redstone with Ripper, and I'm almost running out of things to cover in this world. So make sure you leave a comment if you think I have missed anything important, because I want to get on to possibly season 2 of Redstone with Ripper very, very soon. But we're going over elevators and conveyors today, and we've got quite a few setups here. These look very, very complicated, but we're going to get right into them. So the first elevator design here is the kind of standard, or at least it has become the standard kind of elevator design over the past, probably a couple of years. It was originally invented, or at least this incarnation was invented by a YouTuber by the name of Browse of Steel, and that was quite a long time ago. I'll link the video if I can remember, but it is a very, very old video, and this design is very, very old, but it has been pretty much improved over the last, well, couple of years, I guess, since it has been discovered. So basically you stand here, you can kind of see, you press the button, and you get zoomed to the top, and you're meant to be pushed out at the top here, but apparently it didn't work. That's alright. This is not a perfect elevator design by any means. We got pushed out that time. There you go. So what is happening here, and I built a segment right here. So basically this is the segment, and basically this is repeated throughout the elevator, and I'll go into the kind of repeating segments in just a sec, but this is the kind of segment. We're going to hit it, and you can see kind of what's going on. If we stand on this level, oop, we actually need a block there. There's going to be a problem with this. We actually need a block there to stop us from being pushed off. There you go. So what you can see happening is that if we do it in slow motion, we knock out this, you can see that we get pushed up by this piston to here. And then what actually happens is this piston extends, and what it actually does is it extends before this piston is fully extended, because it takes 2 ticks for a piston to fully extend. It takes 2 ticks for this one to extend, and then 2 ticks for this one to extend. And actually this is set to fire, this piston is set to fire 1 tick after this one. So basically this piston pushes out as we're being kind of elevated, I guess, and that's why you need the block here to stop this piston pushing you off for a start. And basically this comes up, and we're standing in the middle of the block. We knock this out, and you can see we're pushed up, and this just repeats throughout the elevator. Now, how it actually extends, well, we're using something that should be very, very familiar to you guys, and I can just build it here for you. Let's just go and build it here, and what we've got is a Jeb door mechanic. So this is the block it's going to, and this is that block. We put a 2-tick delay on that. You guys should be absolute experts on this. You put that, you do that. That's because it takes 2 ticks for a piston to retract. So you give a 2-tick delay to the backwards piston, and it just does that. So that is the Jeb door mechanic, and we're using this here, except we're using torches. But it doesn't matter, you can use a torch to a 2-tick repeater. We're using it over here as well. And in fact, that's exactly what we're using on the door. I've got a Jeb door stuck in my head, but it's what we're using on the elevator itself. So we're using this torch to this 2-tick repeater, and you can see this goes back to this block, and that's literally all we're doing. It's very, very, very simple. The wiring, at least, you just repeat it over and over and over again. How we're getting the delay is we're actually using 2 separate torch towers. So these are completely independent of one another. I'll knock this out just so you can see. So this looks a bit complicated, but this was just so I could actually fit it in. We hit this button. This goes 1 2-tick delay to here. I'm not sure if the delay matters all that much. Let me hit it again. I can't quite remember. No. See, the delay to the first piston isn't as vital as all the other pistons, but basically this piston fires 1 tick before this piston. So it goes this piston, and then basically this next piston on the left side is 2 ticks after this one. You can see that because you can see this torch, and of course we know that torches take 1 tick to turn off or on. So you can see we've got the torch right in there, and we've got 1, 2, and that's the 2 tick delay. That's really all you need. It's pretty convenient that the torch tower does it for you, does the delay for you. And basically this is, say this is at 1 tick delay, this will be at 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on and so forth, as high as you want the elevator to go. And that means this is at 2, because that's at 1, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, and basically it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., etc. You just have to make sure they're exactly 1 tick apart, and your elevator will be fine. And I think I should mention just this quick wiring here is actually how it achieves it, because we've got 1, 2 ticks of delay to the first torch here, and from our activation we've got 1, 2, 3 ticks of delay to the torch here. So that's how it does it. It uses a 1 tick repeater here, and this should be a 2 tick repeater, but with the wiring this is the only way it kind of fit. Yeah, because if I put it there, it actually, putting a block here cuts it, so that's why. So it was a lot just easier to do that. So that'll be a 2 tick repeater, so it puts it 1 tick behind the left column, so the right column is 1 tick delayed, and that's as easy as you like, and then just the 4 tick to here. Easy. So while the first design I showed you is pretty much the standard elevator design these days, most people don't use anything different, I thought I'd show off just a couple of other designs that have been useful in the past or have just come into existence, which I'll show in a sec. But basically this is the zipper elevator, or at least it is a version of it that I found. I couldn't quite recreate the original zipper elevator, which was shown by DocM77, of course, in a very, very old World Tour video now, I believe. I don't think it was invented by him, but it was definitely popularized by him. And basically you hit the button and it just does that. It may not look like it'll push you up, but basically what it does is it uses this block to push you up onto this stair. So if you have a look, you can see we get pushed up onto all the stairs. We fall down in the end, but that's only because I didn't put a piston to push you out. But basically the problem with this elevator used to be the fastest design, but you can see that it's very, very slow compared to this one. I'll let you have a look at this one. You can see you get pushed to the top very, very quick, but you can see it takes about the same amount of time to get pushed just up to here, and if we go up, it's quite a few blocks shorter than that, and that's because if we have this set to say this is at 1 tick, this is at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you actually start glitching through the stairs and it doesn't work properly. And that's pretty much the reason why the zipper elevator kind of fell out of fashion, because pretty much I addressed this in a video probably about 1.5 years ago now, maybe almost 2 years, how pistons and pistons pushing blocks was really glitchy, and it made you glitch through blocks and whatnot. So that's why zipper elevators aren't used, but I thought I'd show it anyway. Basically all it is a torch tower again, and it's just 2 ticks. So it's this piston, then 2 ticks to the next 2 pistons, then 2 ticks to the next 2 pistons, etc. And of course it's just offset by 2 ticks. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on and so forth. But I would not recommend using this kind of elevator. It's extremely inefficient, and unless you're really, really short on iron, it's probably not worth it. Okay guys, so you may recognize this setup. This is actually from, I believe, the episode directly before this, slime stuff. That'd be episode 18, if my memory serves me correctly. This is a slime block elevator, a very, very bad one, not compact at all, but it still works very, very nicely. And basically what this is just slime blocks, push you up into a piston. These are very, very touchy. They do not work on multiplayer very well. I believe the first one I showed I may work on some multiplayer servers, but elevators in general are very, very touchy on multiplayer servers, so I'd be very, very careful with them. But basically the spacing needs to be right, the timing needs to be right if you want to go anywhere at all. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it is 6 ticks of delay. It is 6 ticks of delay to the next piston, then 4, 5, 6. Oh, that one's actually 8. Okay, because it's 6 ticks. It has to be 8 because it's 6 ticks after this piston extends. So, yeah. I believe that anyway. So I believe it's 6 to here, and then it'll be another 6, and you have to have the spacing perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. So it needs to be 5 blocks each time. If you have lots of slime blocks and you're very, very short on pistons, this is quite a good elevator, but beware that it is very, very buggy on multiplayer servers. So just a final note on elevators before we move on. Basically, elevators look really, really complicated, but if you really want to get into Redstone, I would highly encourage you to actually have a go at building an elevator like this, because it's a very, very good practice in Redstone in your timings for pistons and stuff. So it's actually really, really good to learn how to build one of these, because it really helps you kind of with the understanding of piston timings and stuff. So that was just kind of a final note. I recommend you give this a go yourself with the timings. You know all the mechanics, all the Jeb door mechanics. You can use this as a bit of a template if you really want. Go for it. Build it somewhere else in this world. There's plenty of space for you. I would highly recommend it. So yeah. Okay, so now we'll move on to conveyors, and I lump these in with elevators because essentially they're the same thing in my opinion, except one pushes you upwards and one pushes you sideways. They're pretty much the same mechanics. It's all about piston timings and stuff. And the first design here is one that is very, very close to my heart. One of my favorite designs ever. And if you go back to my channel, if you sort my videos by, I think, oldest to newest, so the opposite way it usually appears, I think this is my third video, maybe second. And basically I made this as a video response to Seth Bling. Maybe you've heard of him. I don't know, fairly unknown YouTuber. And basically he submitted it. I submitted it as a video response, and he accepted. And then lots of people came and viewed my video, and essentially got me my start on YouTube. So there's a bit of a history lesson. If you are interested or not, you just got one. So basically what this does is you hit the first pressure plate. This pushes you onto the next pressure plate, and then 2 ticks later. So this takes 1, 2 ticks. Oh, and I accidentally fell under there. This piston pushes you, and then this piston pushes you, and then the process repeats. So it's a set of 4 pistons each time, just repeated. Very, very simple design. It's just redstone to repeater to dust to there, etc., etc. It's very, very simple. It doesn't like to work a lot anymore, so hopefully it works now. And we didn't get stuck in a block. Unfortunately, this design broke after they changed the piston coding in Minecraft 1.2. So, you know the thing I was complaining about before? Yeah, it broke this too. That's pretty much my major gripe about it. Yeah, it's really, really nice conveyor. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that well anymore, but one of my favorite designs. I would recommend go check out the video just for old time's sake. I'm pretty sure it's still my most viewed video, so I would highly recommend it, just for me. So just one more ugly monstrosity of a conveyor to show you today. It's this thing. This is hideous. Took me forever to get this working. And basically what this design is this elevator, except flipped on its side. That's all it is. This is this on its side. That's it. So we step in it and hopefully it works. And you can see we get pushed to the end. Doesn't always work, but it seems to be pretty consistent at the moment. And what I'm going to do, just because, just for habit, there we go. Has to look nice. So basically what this is doing is pressure plate to 4 tick repeater, just to let you get in position. And it just powers this piston. It doesn't really matter about this piston pushing you. And then it goes 3 ticks to the first piston there. 2 ticks to that piston, and then 3 ticks, and then it's just 2 delayed. So this will be 3, 5, 7. This will be 2, 4, 6. You could do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, same as this one pretty much. It's the same logic. And then to these pistons, it's just 2 ticks before. So this, if it's 3 to here, I put 1. Sorry, it'll be this block. I put 1 delay to here. So 3 to there, 1 to there. So it's just minus 2. 2 tick delay to here, so I put 0 to here. So very, very simple. Exactly the same logic again as this one. So all you have to do is step on the pressure plate, and theoretically you should get pushed forward. Again, this design is a bit temperamental as well. It doesn't always work the same as any of these elevator designs, but go blame Mojang for that, because it's pretty much their fault. They ruined pistons. So that just about wraps this one up, guys. Thank you very much for watching my episode on elevators and conveyors. It was a very, very kind of theoretical episode. I didn't do much redstone, really. Really, elevators and conveyors, as I mentioned, are not the hardest things in the world. It is all about timing. That's all it is. If you have one timing out, it will not work. But really, any reasonable redstoner should be able to like whip up one of these elevators just through kind of knowledge of timings. It doesn't need to be like this compact, but really through kind of timings and kind of just, that's it. It's just redstone timings. So stop making them out to be really, really complicated things, because they're really not. And as I said, I recommend you guys give building an elevator a go, because it really is really, really good practice, and it makes you feel really good when you put your first one together, you step in it, and you go whizzing to the top. So it's a lot of fun. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, that's about all there is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, guys.